Good morning, students. So let us start with our today's class, right? So today we'll start with a new chapter, that is chapter 7, control and coordination. So before proceeding with the chapter, let us recall what we have studied or what we have learned in the previous classes or in the previous class also. So when we start learning about biology, so what happened? The first chapter which we learn is cell, right? And what is cell? Cell is the structural and functional unit of life, right? So after that, after cell, what we have studied? We have studied tissues. What are tissues? Tissues are nothing but a number of cells collect together and they perform a specific function, right? And that is called tissues. Every tissues, they have some specific function to perform. So after that, next chapter, that is previous chapter in class 10, what you have learned? You have learned about life process. What are the life process? Like nutrition, excretion, transpiration, or transportation. All these are life process. And if a single life process stops, that means a living organism cannot survive. All the single life organisms are important for a living organism to survive, right? So now in this chapter we will be studying about control and coordination. And what is this control and coordination? What are the things that are controlling in our body? All this we will study in this chapter, right? For example, you will see a child, okay, child growing. First you will see the child is very small. After some days it will grow slowly it will grow to a young man, right? And from that young man again it will grow and it will become an old man, right? So what is there in your body? What is there inside your body is saying that you need to grow. We can stay as child also. Why do we need to grow, right? And what is there inside our body that is telling us, grow, you should grow now, this is the age that you should be growing? What is there inside your body that is telling all these things? For example, the fingers or the toes, the hands, legs of a small child, you will see small in size, right? As it starts growing, the size of these fingers, toes, everything starts growing, right? So what is there inside our body? In this chapter, we are going to study about that something which is telling us that you need to grow now, which is commanding us inside our body, which is controlling us. Okay? Another example is that you will see, have you ever felt electric shock? Okay. So when you feel electric shock, what do? You still keep your hand in that board, attached to that board? No. What do? As soon as you feel electric shock, what you used to move your hand faster, right? Or you used to jump out from that place. Why? How do you know that you are feeling electric shock? So there is something inside your body that is telling you, right? That is instigating you that move your hand from there. You are getting an electric shock, you should move your hand. So as soon as that something inside your body commands, so what used to do? You used to move your hand faster, right? So there is something that is controlling us. That's something. About that something only we will study in this chapter. Okay? So what is control and coordination? What is control and coordination? Synchronization between the different organs of the body so that they can work together in harmony to perform the vital activities of life. This is called control and coordination. Again, I am repeating. Synchronization between the different organs of the body so that they can work together in harmony to perform the vital activities of life is called control and coordination. For example, you want to play football now, right? So while playing football, both your eyes and your legs should work together. For example, you are playing football and you saw that a ball is coming to you, right? So what happened? Your eyes will see the coming of the ball. Who will see? Your eyes will see, and your leg will be ready for kicking that ball, right? So your eyes and your leg both should work together. For example, eyes is not seeing where is the ball and the leg is just kicking. Can you kick the ball out? No, you cannot kick the ball because you don't know what is the position of the ball, where is the ball is now at present, right? So how will you kick it? So what happens in this case? Or for example, you are seeing the ball is coming, but your leg is not willing to kick the ball or is not ready to kick the ball. So can you play football like this? No, you can't. So what happens? If you want to play football nicely, if you want to kick that ball, what you will do? Your eyes will see at what distance or what speed that ball is coming to you, right? And your leg should be ready for a speed or for that or for the position of the ball, so that it can kick it nicely, right? So what happens here? Your eyes and your legs, they are walking in what? They are walking synchronization. That means they are walking together, right? And both, they are different organs. They are not the same organs, but they are working together so that they can do the activity properly, right? So this is what. So what happens? There is a controlation. There is something that's controlling the eye and the arm, and the leg to work together so that they can kick the ball nicely, right? There is some control, and about that is the control and coordination what we will study in this chapter. Okay, now we'll start with the chapter. Okay, now we will see coordination in various life forms. So in class 9 you have studied as chapter diversity, right? Diversity in various life forms. So what happens? We have around us, we have different types of animals and also different types of plants. Okay, so we will study about some, not all. We can't study about all because there are millions and trillions of life forms around us, right? So we can't study about all. We'll study about some life forms in this chapter. So how the coordination is done in different life forms, how the message or the information is transmitted from one part of the body to the other part of the body, or from one cell of the body to the other cell of the body. So about that coordination we'll study here. Now we will see animals, how the information is sent to different parts of the body in animals. Okay, and after that we will see in plants. So let us start with animals. So for example, when you now suddenly you saw a tiger. So what you will do as soon as you saw a tiger? What you will do? You will start running from that place, right? In order to save your life, what you will do? You will start running. But what happens? Who saw the tiger is there? Which part of your body saw that there is a tiger? It is your eyes, right? The eye saw that there is a tiger. But there is a question over here again. When you saw there is a tiger, how you know that this is a tiger? How your eye know that this is a tiger? Because our eyes saw different types of things like chair, table, house, cycle, vehicle, different types of things our eyes saw, right? So how it differentiate that this is a tiger? How? It is our brain that tells that this is a tiger. Okay, our eyes see that this is a tiger, and the message is sent to the brain, right? That I saw something there. So the brain interprets that this is a tiger, and then the brain send a message to the muscles of the legs, right? That you should run because there is a tiger. You should run there because there is a tiger. So the muscle starts running. Okay, so it is the brain who tells that you should run now. The brain interprets that this is a tiger, and also the brain sends a message to the muscles of the legs that you should run because there is a tiger. So the leg starts running. Okay, so the process of sending messages or sending information from one part of the body to the other part, or from one cell of the body to the other cell, is known as what? It is known as nervous system. As we have respiratory system, we have digestive system, different types of systems. So along with that, we have another system, that is nervous system. And what's the function of this nervous system? The function of nervous system is to send messages or to send information from one part of the body to the other part, right? So how the messages are sent from one part of the body to the other? It is through these electric impulses. It is through these electric impulses. These electric impulses are present inside the nerves. Okay, and through these electric impulses, the messages are sent to different nerve cells. Electric impulses carried by nerve cells. So in nerve cells, what do we have? We have electric impulses, and through these electric impulses, the messages or the information are sent to different parts of the body. For example, there is a tiger. The eye saw the tiger. So the electric impulse is sent from the eye to the brain, right? That there is a tiger there. That there is something. So brain tells that this is tiger. This message, this electric impulse, one will come to the eye that this is a tiger, and the other goes to the muscle of the leg that you should run now. Okay. So how the messages are sent? It is sent through this electric impulse carried by different nerve cells. Okay. And this transmission is very faster. The electric impulses, they send messages from one part of the body very fast. You can say less than a second. They don't need 1 second also to send a message. They can send a message within a second, less than 1 second. Okay, the electric impulses, they should transfer from one place to the other in very faster. Their transmission is very faster. But there are also some limitations in this electric impulses in nervous system. What happens is that these electric impulses can reach only the cells connected by nervous tissue. That means we can see nervous tissue in different parts, in every part of our body, in a very single part of our body, right? A very small part of our body. But what happens, there are some cells which are not connected to this nervous system. So what happens, how the information will be passed to the cell? We can't pass the message to the cell. We need to pass. There is an importance to pass those messages to the cell, but we can't pass because that single cell is not connected to the nervous system. So what happens is that in nervous system we have a detector, right? And that detector can detect the electric impulse. Other cells, they do not have this. Only the nervous tissues, only nerve cells, they have this detector. So what happens when the electric impulses pass to different nerve cells? So they have a detector, they can detect it. But other cells which are not connected with the nerve cells, what happens? They do not have the detector and they cannot detect. So the information is useless for them. So because of that only, these electric impulses, they can reach only the cells that is connected to nervous tissue. So there is a limitation because other cells also need the message, need the information in order to work synchronously, right? Next we have electric impulses cannot be continuously. That means now there is an electric impulse. For the generation of next electric impulse, they need some time. But for example, it is very emergency to send a message now. So what we'll do? We can't send now because in order to generate another electric impulse, we need some time. This electric impulse is not, they cannot continuously transform message. Okay, these electric impulses, they cannot be continuously transmitted and generated, right? So what happens, they cannot be created and transmitted. So what happens, there is a limitation over here, and in order to overcome this limitation, there is another system. Because nervous system, as you can see, as you know, that it is present in different parts of the body, right? But there are also some cells which are not connected with this, and the electric impulses cannot be transmitted. So in order to send messages to those cells, there is another system, and that system is endocrine system. So what happens in this system? Chemicals released by stimulated cells diffuse all around. So what happens in this system? The chemicals, the messages are sent, the information are sent through chemicals. Okay, the chemicals released by stimulated cells, they diffuse all around. Example, the cells which are not connected with the nervous tissue. So what happens, or which are connected with nervous tissue also, these cells, they used to send the chemicals to those cells where the information need to be sent, and they stimulate those cells. The chemicals are released. When the chemicals, they used to enter those cells, they used to stimulate it. That means they used to make active that cell, and after that their work is done. Okay, but this process is a bit slower. This is a slower process because the chemicals, they need to be passed, they need to transfer from first this chemical will be released. After releasing, they will go and they will instigate, or they will stimulate another cell where the information need to be sent. So this process is a bit slower process. Okay, but the advantage of this process is that it can reach all cells. It's not necessary that it can reach some cell or not, but in this endocrine system, the chemicals which are released, these chemicals can reach each single cell. Okay, this is the advantage, and plus this is a continuous process. For example, now the cell has released some chemical and it goes, right? After 1 second, we need another chemical. So the cell is ready to release. This process is a continuous process. It's not uncontinuous. Okay, clear with this? So we have two systems, that is nervous system and endocrine system. And about this nervous system and endocrine system, we will studying in details. This is a brief discussion. Okay, I have just discussed little bit about the nervous system and endocrine system in order so that you can understand what is nervous system and what is endocrine system. We'll study about this in detail. Okay, in the next class. In this class, this is a brief discussion, just introduction. Okay, and in the next class, we will study in details about each and every part of every part. Okay, next, what are the hormones? I have told you that in endocrine system, what they used to do, they used to release chemicals. And what are these chemicals? These chemicals are nothing but the hormones. Okay, hormones. These chemicals are nothing but the hormones. And about different hormones, we'll study in details in this chapter. Now just understand, just get an introduction to all these things. Next we have plants. Now we'll see in plants how the information are transmitted from one part to the other. So what happens in plants? They do not have any specialized muscular or nervous system. As you know, plants do not move from one place to another, so they do not need these muscles. Muscles are present only in animals, right? Muscular tissues are present only in animals. So plants are not moving from one place to another, so they do not need any muscular tissue. Next, they do not have also any nervous tissue. But you will say, if they do not have any nervous tissue, then why we are talking about them here? Because they do not have any nervous tissue, but in plants also the messages need to be transferred from one place to another. So what happens? Then they also need some coordination. So for this, what do they have? They should do the coordination by chemicals, just like the endocrine system. So what happens in plants also, the coordination is done. The information are transmitted from one part of the plant to the other by chemicals. And what are these chemicals? These are hormones. For example, what information? For example, plants, you know that plants used to grow from a seed, right? So in order to plant will grow from the single seed, what happens? There should be some cell division, right? So the information should reach this to every cell that you should divide now, because it is time for the plant to grow now. So you should divide, right? The message should be reached to every part of this cell. So how the message will be sent? It will be sent through these chemicals or hormones. Okay? So they will send a message that it is time for the seed to grow now into a seedling. So start dividing. So the cells, what they will do? They will start dividing, or they will start becoming large in size, and so that the plant will grow from the seedling. From the seed they will grow into seedling, and slowly they will grow into a big plant. Okay, and for this the messages need to be sent. The information should reach to every cell, and how it will reach? It will reach with the help of the chemicals. Okay, and what are these chemicals? These are nothing but the hormones. Okay, clear till here? Clear? So in the next class we will see the coordination in different animals. Okay, we will not see in details, but we'll see in roughly some. And after that we'll study in details. In details we'll study nervous system in animals, endocrine system in animals, and also in plants. Okay, but in the next class we'll see how the coordination takes place in different animals, right? Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, we'll see there how does the information takes place there, because as you can see, Porifera, Monera, they do not have this nervous system. Okay, but how the messages are transferred with the help of this endocrine system. But you will see Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, they have a nervous system, but which is not well developed, not well advanced. It is not fully developed. Okay, so how in that case, how the messages are run, how the coordination is done, how it is controlled, right? We'll see all these things, and also we'll see how it is done in complex animals, as for example human beings. Clear till here? We'll see about all this in the next class. For today it's still here. Thank you.